In the last episode of Dragon Ball Z,
they'll all engage into heroic running towards Misa.
And now, the exciting conclusion. When they reach him, he activates this fire pillar so they can continue. But it's not a problem for motherfucking Lupus. Although there's plenty of space between those pillars, you guys can totally go through. Guys? Anyhow, it's up to Lupus to save the day. So after an epic fight, actually it's like the easiest boss fight so far, Misa is defeated. But this is not the end yet. He flies away into space and passes the nearest asteroid. The tribal leader comes around and explains that Misa has taken control of the asteroid and he's planning on fucking crashing it into Earth. So before he does this, we need to get into the asteroid ourselves and kick the shit out of him again. The problem is that according to the tribal leader, our ships just won't get us there in time. But luckily the tribals have this special ship that can make it, but it needs repair, so he's asking to gather 12 missing parts from the nearby planets. He also states that even though we save lots of tribals, there are still a lot of them slaves, so he won't give us the last piece of the ship unless we rescue all of them. So let me get this straight. We fought Misa, which was attacking and enslaving your people, drop him off to an asteroid in which he plans to do a suicide mission against your own planet, and you're not willing to give me your fucking ship unless I save every single one of your people? Like, how do I even have time to gather every ship part and rescue all the tribals if you say our ships just won't get us to the asteroid in time? What the fuck? I have a better idea. How about I just kill you now, take the last ship part and add your head to my fucking collection? Well, at least this asshole has some kind of reward. The whole team gets into this weird pause and after a random light show they emerge, but they are not the same. Meet motherfucking tank, Space Dog! Not only he's now inside the fucking tank, but he can still fly by transforming mid-air. And if you go into the water, his wheels actually transform into floaters, so he can swim at high speeds. Oh yeah, and I guess Juno and Vladlust upgraded too or whatever? At least most of the parts are hidden in new sections of the stages you couldn't reach before, but you need to start the stage from the beginning every time until you eventually run to the thing you couldn't do. You're probably thinking, what the fuck do those new upgrades allow you to do? Well, Lupus could always fly as I'm pretty sure I established, but now the rest of the team can do so too, but not in the same way. In different stages you will find the platforms that recharges your fuel. This will allow you to fly upwards into different places you couldn't reach before. Lupus flight is still useful because it can be used whenever without needing fuel, but he can only fly horizontally, so he can't reach high places. I would have preferred more interesting upgrades than just flight. Since Lupus can already do that to some capacity, it's not something really new or very interesting, it's just a tool to backtrack and collect shit you couldn't before. At least there are a couple of new words that you unlock with your new skill, so that's something. Of course, they all have tribals and ship parts on them. Also, since the whole team is together now, you can go to any stage that you did before with a certain character and choose another. This will allow you to use their special abilities like underwater swimming or lava resistance to gather every ship part and tribal. This is kind of an annoying task since there are a lot of tribals to gather and you can end up killing them by accident or they can be killed by the enemy. And if one dies, you have to just restart the stage since you literally need all of them. Excuse me for a second. Well, after you gather every goddamn tribal and ship part, the fucking leader lends you his ship. Use it to crash land into the meteorite Misery Sun. There isn't much to do in this stage. There are a few enemies to defeat before reaching the boss, which I don't know how the fuck they got here, but before long you catch up with him. The whole team is together against him this time, but Lupus and Bella easily get wrecked. You disappoint me, Lupus. Juno is still a badass and holds on, so this time you fight Misa with him. Which means Bella never gets to actually fight Misa. Why do I have you in my team again? Oh yeah, the bandage ups. This time the boss fight is harder. Misa has a lot of different moves and takes a ton of damage. When I was a kid it took me quite a few tries to beat him. By the end of the fight, Bella and Lupus wake up. Yeah, really convenient guys, thanks for the fucking help. But suddenly, this strange pod starts coming out of Misa's head. Plot twist! It turns out that Misa is actually Tribal's leader's brother, motherfucking Barry. Wait, you don't even know who Barry is? Actually, I have no fucking clue who he is either. He's never even mentioned in the game until now. Apparently, he was jealous of his brother getting all the glory, so he decided to build a giant bug and kill and slave his whole race. Yeah, he's kind of a dick. The funny thing is that suddenly he wants to help for no apparent reason, but he says that he can't stop the meteorite since he reached some explosives on the core of the asteroid and we just can't reach them in time. What's up with all these things that we just can't do in time? Anyhow, Floyd comes around and yeah, he's still with us and he can actually help in the missile fight if you have a second player. The problem is that if he goes into the core and activates the explosives so that the meteorite is destroyed before reaching the planet, he's obviously gonna die. But apparently he doesn't give a fuck. So, you have to do one of those Floyd minigames for the last time in which you fly as him to reach the goal in time. If you do it, you're shown a cutscene in which you see everyone escaping but Floyd, who's blown into pieces. Fly! I'm over it. After you save the Earth, you're greeted by this celebration to commemorate the new heroes. The three of them go into what appears to be the Jet Force Gemini headquarters. There's a bunch of other soldiers there waiting for you. What's very weird is that on the left rod first there is a combination of guys and gals, but a second later when they show it again it's only guys. Like, what? Unplayable, 0 to 10 IGN. So, you receive your medals, high five, no one gives a fuck that Floyd died, and that's it, GG. Oh wait, I almost forgot. When the credits roll, you can actually see Junior randomly busting and moving the dance floor. And that was just for Gemini. Apart from the single player campaign, there is also a multiplayer mode for up to 4 players in which you just kill each other. I had some fun with it when I was a kid and it's cool that in the campaign you learn things for it like different characters to choose when you find those weird totems. This is a really cool game that I don't see many people talk about. It has some very good things to it like different weapons and very fun gameplay in which you feel like a badass killing lots of enemies easily. But as I mentioned previously, the backtracking isn't very interesting and having to collect every tribal gets annoying. It would have been better if backtracking was introduced early on as a game mechanic, or if the game just asked to collect every ship part and not every tribal too. And even when having 3 playable characters is cool, it sucks out whenever you find a new weapon that only applies to the character you're playing as. So you literally have to collect the same weapon 3 times for each character. This also applies for ammo and life upgrades, which can make it less important when you receive or find these rewards. And it goes without saying that even though the story is not really important, what the rest of it is not very interesting and the plot twist is kinda bullshit. Taking this into account, I'm giving Jet Force Gemini the score of 7 out of 10. So, did you ever play Jet Force Gemini? If you didn't, would you consider doing it now? I feel there are better games for Nintendo 64, but it's still a really good one. I enjoyed it a lot as a kid, even though I didn't speak English at the time, not that my English is very good now, so it was cool replaying it and seeing the dialogue I missed. Now, as a total alleged YouTuber that I am, I need to ask you to like this video because it helps out a lot. I don't really know how much it helps, but that's what everyone says, so it must be true, right? You can also subscribe if you feel like I'm sort of worth your time and leave a comment to let me know what game I should review next. I'll answer to all comments since I'll probably have like 3. Well, until we meet again.